Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Closed Doors. We are in Nijkerk. Yesterday we set up our booth and today is day one at the Professional Imaging. It's the largest trade show in the Netherlands and I'm responsible for the live shoot theater. So I try to get the best speakers on there, of course, and I do a show myself every day from 1 hour, and I do a show at BenQ and Lassie. So it's a very, very busy day because we also have our booth there. So we give information about our workshops, our instructional videos and whatnot more. It's going to be a jam-packed day, but luckily we have a great team to help us out. And we don't have to fly in, so if something goes wrong we can always go back with the car. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, see the vlog from last week at the photography show. So, Professional Imaging, day one in the Netherlands, Nijkerk, De Loods. Let's go.
I see you watching me when we're with our friends. It's definitely something in the air. So let's take it from there, 'cause I know you want it. Afraid to let it show, and I know you need it. Why don't we let it grow, grow, grow? I think it's time we stop tipping on our toes. What's holding you back now, sugar? 'Cause I don't know, sure know you want it. Afraid to let it show.
Okay, now the walk to Professional Imaging is a really small walk. It's literally our hotel is there, Professional Imaging is there. Now, because you didn't see that, let me just turn it around for you guys. So, Professional Imaging is over there, and the hotel is actually over there. So, every morning it's maybe a 1-minute walk, and then we're at the trade show. So, that's awesome because you can literally just have breakfast and just relax and get to the trade show. It's much better than having public transportation or whatever, because there's always stress like, are we on time? Are there any delays? So yeah, love this place.
Afraid to let it show, and I know you need it. Why don't we let it grow?
Now, because it's 8 o'clock and the trade show opens at 9:30, we have to go through the back because the front is actually the normal entrance. So we go through the back entrance, the artist entrance, or something like that.
Grow, 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 grow. It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. Yeah. Make a move before someone takes your place. I see you watching me when we're with our friends. There's definitely something in the air. So let's take it from there. So let's take it from there. Why don't we let it grow, 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 grow?
Okay, one of the biggest problems you can encounter during a trade show is actually that the projector isn't set up correctly. And trust me, it happens a lot. The contrast is bumped up way too high, the brightness is way too low, and in other essence, if you show your images, they look like, well, crap. So, what I always bring with me is actually a test pattern. So you can download those for free. Let me just turn around. And they are just very simple grayscales. So let's open up.
We let it grow.
There we go. And you just project something like this on the projector, and you can literally see, if you see all the black squares, you're fine. If you see all the whites, you're fine. So it's a really easy way to set up the projectors. And because I always have this with me, I can always set up the projector exactly the right way, and I know for sure that my images look exactly the way that I shoot them. And especially when you do a live shoot and you explain stuff like light metering or whatever, it's important that people see that the blacks don't get crushed and the whites don't get blown out. And trust me, I've seen trade shows where literally the photographer shoots and all the whites seem to blow out. And then when you look on his laptop, they're perfect. So the audience gets the totally wrong impression. Now over here, they're always pretty nice, but that's my job. I'm responsible for making sure that the audio on the live shoot theater is right, and of course the video. So that's why we're here so early. Let's set it up. Okay, and as you can see now on the projector, I see all the blacks and I see all the whites. Now, there's still a lot of ambient light hitting the screen, but that's something that we have to work with on professional imaging. There is some sunlight inside the room, of course, because it's a live shoot theater inside a trade show, so it's not really dark. As you can see behind me, it is darker on the live shoot theater than behind. See? But it's still, I would prefer totally blacked out theater, but you know, some things aren't possible and you have to work with that. So modeling lights, a little bit tricky, but it's still great to do the shoot because let's be honest, we shoot on f11 or f8, so there's no ambient light in the pictures. But for the projectors, it's a little bit tricky sometimes, but hey, it looks pretty cool. So we're ready for the first show. I'm first up at 10:15, after me, Chris Knight, so it's gonna be interesting. Okay, a little view from the stage. So this is from the live shoot theater stage, and our booth is actually there. And we have our friends from BenQ over there and Hensel over there. So it's all pretty close together. It's the way we love it. Now, as you know, on most trade shows there are actually new stuff, so new gear, and we have something really special for you guys to show. So follow me to the Hensel booth. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and here we have it, the game changer from Hensel, the Forest 1000. This is one amazing strobe, can't wait to start playing with it. And this is absolutely awesome because it supports HSS, HS, of course ETTL for Sony and all other cameras. And, believe it or not, you can use it on location and in the studio. Isn't that awesome?
You are my grid sometimes, I'm my grid sometimes. All my friends are saying that I waste my time, that I waste my time. I don't wanna tell you, don't know if you care.
And don't you just love to tweak your strobe? So what you just saw was the normal mode. Now watch this. This is the expert mode. Or as they say, the Frank mode. Expert mode. And you can also see the T 0.5 value. So if you change it, you can actually see your flash duration changing. That's very, very handy if you want to do some freeze motion. Of course, modeling lights. And the cool thing about this one is actually on the side you see the battery pack. You can take that out for an AC pack. So this is really a hybrid strobe which you can use fully in the studio and fully on location. It's not something like a battery strobe that you can also use in the studio. It's literally a strobe that you can use in both situations to the fullest extent. So this is really, really cool. Now the flash duration of the Forest is actually not what you saw in the video. This is still a beta software version and the end flash duration will be around 1/8,000th of a second. Yes, you heard that correctly, 1/8,000th of a second. So if you want to freeze motion, the experts and this one will absolutely just rock it, because 1/8,000th of a second, you can freeze whatever you want, so that's pretty awesome. But again, this is a beta version, and you see that a lot with strobe, so I think they're gonna release it in the summer or end of the summer. So this is really like the first time I ever saw it. So software is still being worked on. Everything is being fine-tuned, and as you can see, I'm very, very excited about this strobe. This is gonna be so much more fun. Okay, so now you know the term, always bring gaffer's tapes, right? This is always during trade shows. If you want to make sure that during a demo you don't lose any audio or any video, make sure that the cables are actually secured. For the very simple reason, these cables get used a lot. Sometimes there's like a little break or something is a little bit loose, so that's why we always bring tape with us to actually just tape it down and just do it like this. And trust me, this was one of the things that actually, when I started out teaching on trade shows, what happened a lot to me, that we lost connection and we just started taping everything down, and ever since, never lost the connection. And if you lose connection, well, things can happen. It's hardware, so that's very simple. Hardware, well, failures can happen. Now on that topic, I recently saw an interview that was really interesting. I believe it was from Def Leppard, and Brian May from Queen was watching backstage, and they asked the guys from Def Leppard, weren't you nervous that somebody like Brian May is watching, because if something goes wrong? And the answer was just genius. He said, well, it's very simple. If I step on my guitar cable, he, well, probably experienced that 1,000 times. If I fall flat on my face on the stage, he probably experienced that 100 times or more. So in essence, You know, hardware can fail. It's mostly that you have to have your story correct. And to be honest, when I go on stage, I'm always a little bit nervous, of course, although we do this so many times, but not about the story, but it's always about hardware. Because if your computer crashes or if your camera doesn't work, it's something that's hard to solve. So when you want to do something with teaching or give demos, make sure that your story is right. Because if you also are nervous for that, trust me, this can be a killer experience in a negative way. But if you know your story is right and if something breaks down, it's hardware. So it happens to everybody. So make sure that you tape it down and just minimize that risk. That's the best tip I can give you for that. Some last minute changes to our booth to make it a little bit more accessible. So we have the red carpet out for you guys if you visit us.
When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things you took from me, I know that I am so much better. When I look at what I've done, now that we're apart, when I look at what I've won, I've come so far. I know I'm so much better off, and baby, you don't belong. I could feel it in my bones. There was something going on, that shade of doubt hanging around that old. 'Cause darling, there is nothing right when all you seem to do is lie. Those days are gone. I'm walking tall while you're alone. When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things you took from me, I know that I am so much better. When I look at what I've done, now that we're apart, when I look at what I've won, I've come so far. I know I'm so much better off, and baby, you don't belong. Your love was cold, heart made of stone, but I'm just fine. I'm gonna shine. I'm alright. I'm celebrating my liberation. I'm moving strong. I'm moving on. I'm alright. Might be shaken but not stirred. Just a lesson that I've learned, and so it goes. Tables turn in your own. When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things you took from me, I know that I am so much better. When I look at what I've done, now that we're apart, when I look at what I've won, I've come so far. I know I'm so much better off, and baby, you don't belong. When I think about the way we used to be, when I think about the things you took from me, I know that I am so much better. When I look at what I've done, now that we're apart, when I look at what I've won, I've come so far. I know I'm so much better off, and baby, you don't belong.
Okay, and that was day one of the professional imaging. And as you can see, it's a very busy schedule. We did our live shoot, then we did a book signing at Van Duren, of course BenQ and Lassie, and everything in between. So it's a really busy schedule, but it's so much fun to do. So if you visited Professional Imaging, thank you so very much for being there. And if you are coming in the next few days, make sure you check us out. And, well, if you like what we do, subscribe to our channel, leave comments below, smash that like button because we really like that. But most of all, tell other people about our channel so we can grow. See you again next time. Bye, guys.